Hello, and welcome to Season 6, Episode 3 of Rampant Pyanodon. Last episode, we made the Alaska Roll Station alongside the coarse coal production. This episode, I'm not quite sure what we'll do, but I know we are going to start with byproduct management. Alright, so I didn't want to build an external storage management system. Obviously, it sounds like on paper that it would basically double the amount of trains required, right? Because a train would go from point A to storage, then from storage to point B. So more trains in the network. But my coarse coal build had a primary to byproduct ratio of 1 coarse coal per 9 byproducts in the form of coal and coal dust. So yeah, I didn't even get one order of coal dust filled before I filled up with coal and coal dust. Yeah, my hand was kind of forced. This build, I only show half of it on the screen because I think I'm almost done, but then spent basically like double the time fixing all the minor problems and the circuitry that went into this. I'm actually pretty happy that I'm spending a lot more time building circuits, but it takes a very long time for me to get it right. So let's talk about how it actually works. Here's an example I have. We have an access provider, a requester, and my storage system. So in the case where we have an access provider and a requester, and they're both active, the train ignores the central storage and goes directly from point A to point B. In a scenario where the access provider is active but all requesters are already full, we simply drop the access off at the central storage. This is again because this is access provider, meaning that it's generally a byproduct of something else, so we need to get rid of it so it stops or so it doesn't clog up production. The last scenario is when the requester is active but the access provider is inactive, so the access provider doesn't have any access. We already took it all. In this scenario, we would take from the storage first. So what about a fourth scenario? There is a scenario where the byproduct and requesters are both inactive. This would cause trains to drive around in circles, basically picking up from storage and dropping back off at the same storage. I solved this problem by splitting up the requester and provider in the storage system to subnets. So everything is usually on train network B. I made the requester B1 and the provider B2. So that way, across all storage systems, no storage can actually deliver to or from itself or to any other storage. But yeah, that is the build. I love the way it came out. This was amazing. So we had the Alaska roll as our first sushi station. The second sushi station, we're going alphabetically. We have Alaska roll. Then B is a bento box, which is just amazing because this is storage. So now I have the bento box station, the bento box sushi station, and it's doing amazing already. I love just watching it in place, and I love watching it on the map as well. It's really cool. I also did this, which I'm pretty sure is a crime against Factorio, and I suck at rail signaling apparently, but I think it's fair because I'm like 600 or 700 hours in, and this is the first time I'm really using trains because this is the first time I actually got to them. Moving on, I decided to automate rail production. This is because we're nearly out of solder, but we have enough tin and lead plate to last us a while. So really just want to get my lead and tin up so that I have, I guess, rail production up soon. So we can pull up the roadmap. We just finished byproduct management. And if I want to get back our plate production, which is kind of my number one priority, the basic plates and the advanced plates, we have two prerequisites, one of them being basic gases and the prerequisite to that being coal products. So I think this episode we will try to finish up the coal products. All right, so welcome to the coal build. I know we already have a lot of coal in the system. This is because it's the byproduct of the coarse coal build, but we do need a primary. I think just because it kind of just makes us to have a primary source of coal. Anyways, as you saw, we started by doing a lot of direct lines like I used to do, but I think I read somewhere that people were like, you know, my builds would benefit a lot from direct insertion. So that's what I tried to do, and there is some direct insertion, but for whatever reason, I decided to just start making loops, and I think this is probably because I've been watching a lot of like those Gleba videos recently with spoilage, and the loops looked really cool, so I ended up just implementing it here. Anyways, as you can see, you might be wondering like, oh, why is my build so small, right? It's a total of 9 buildings, pretty unlike me. It produces 9.33 coal per second, takes 6 raw coal per second, and also outputs about 1 coal dust per second as well. And it's very small. And I guess my reasoning is because I already have a lot of coal in the system, so I don't really need this yet. But then I realized that coal gas tar, acetylene, aromatics, and syngas will probably need a lot of coal. So if my coarse coal byproduct ever runs out, maybe I should have a lot. But I don't know. This is just... Yeah, I got no idea. I made it small, and I don't want to remake it. And I can copy paste it again, which will be inefficient. So if I ever really, really need more coal, I guess I will just up production in the future. Or maybe I'll just make everything else smaller. But yeah, but yeah, this is the coal build. It's nice, it's small. I decided that I don't need the 5-to-1 and 1-to-5 splitters that I've been doing in a lot of the other builds. This looks just fine. I also experiment with trucking off the left side of the station, but I actually like it better with it on. So yeah, this is a coal build. All right, let's go ahead and place it down. And the coal is done. It looks absolutely beautiful. Next up is coke, so let's get to it. Okay, so for the coke build, I start off by taking the coal station, the coal Mark 1, and pasting it down, and then I kind of just rip out the insides. This is because I want it to be the same exact footprint, because I plan on putting them next to each other. Also, Coke is first of all, this is my first time using this Coke recipe, Red Hot Coke, but it's also the first recipe that I'm using that has spoilage, which is extremely exciting. So we take coal as our input, we combine it with some steam, some steam, and then the steam turns the coal into a red hot Coke, and we process the red hot Coke with the Coke, we process the red hot Coke with some pressurized air, and we turn it into Coke. I'm kind of eyeballing all the ingredients because my yet another Factorio calculator exploded for some reason. I think it outputs a full belt of Coke when it's running fully. Anyways, spoilage is fun and interesting because I have to make sure that any place that the red hot Coke could spoil, I'm able to pull it out so it doesn't spoil in the machines and clog anything. Luckily, it does spoil directly into Coke, so it's actually not the worst to deal with. There's a byproduct of coke oven gas, which I use to power the steam, which I use to create steam for the rest of the system. But otherwise, there is still excess coke oven gas, which I just kind of put in the excess on the left side. As you can see here, red hot Coke takes over 2 hours to spoil, so testing this was extremely tedious. I did speed up the time, and I'm speeding up the time again, but it takes a long time to test it and ensure that if the red hot Coke spoils, this entire system doesn't lock up. And I think it's good, so yeah, that is the Coke build. Let's go ahead and build it. Yeah, and with that, we are at the end of the episode. So this episode we did byproduct management, the storage. We did coal and we did coke, and it all looks really beautiful. Um, as always, a big thanks to my patrons. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.